laser weapon can be programmed for different wavelengths. Laser weapon can be programmed for different wavelengths. There was something blue they didn't want to burn. Here, blue survived it, the cloth, the boat that survived in the ocean, and these are all just the mainstream articles showing this. The boat was blue. The car that survived, right, it's still blue. And I mean, this is what they showed in the mainstream news. And shout out to my friend, Dana. She pointed this out. This is pattern recognition. And all the people that they show after the devastation are wearing blue. This is where it got weird, and it kind of took a turn for me where I'm like, there's some type of color symbolism happening here. This fire right here, this blue, survived it. I cut it off from the blue. right here where the 47 trunk banyan tree survived. You got this like little blue house restroom that survived. Here's ABC News, the guy in the blue. This girl cleaning is wearing the blue. Good Morning America. This guy's wearing the blue. Just weird symbolism. Burnt, but this guy's carrying something blue. So everybody that they're showing in these pictures are wearing blue. So some sort of code. It's some sort of, I don't know what it is. This house, they were showing this in CNN, the blue house over the fire, the sugar cane, this guy looking at it wearing the blue. I mean, it goes on and on. This guy, New York Times, he's wearing the blue. This guy laying down on the blue chair. It does go into the color spectrum, as we did a video on the purple lights, the purple blue lights that are popping up everywhere. The blue light, you got a Blu-ray disc because the blue holds the most information through this light spectrum. And we've covered the optogenetics, how certain lights can put you under mind control. But the color blue is used in a lot of elite logos because it makes you trust. It's, I trust you, in a sense. Politicians usually wear blue suits, so you will trust them. You always see politician wearing a blue suit. This all goes into mind control. And let's not forget about this blue mask right here. The blue street lights popping up, the blue and purple street lights, Project Bluebird, which was a mind control operation. Project Bluebird, Twitter's the Bluebird, but Project Bluebeam, that's probably the most important of all this. Using lasers, Project Bluebeam lasers to create holograms. All the blue in this being blue should say enough about that there's something going on with the blue logo. Here's the blue logo. Here's the blue logo. Here's the blue logo. Here's the blue logo.
By the time we got to Safeway, that's what was behind us.
Wow, so you went north.
We went north.
Was there down power lines anywhere on the highway?
Everybody was stuck. The cops
had no idea that the road was stopped and they wouldn't let us move. And I'm looking in the rearview mirror and the sky is getting blacker and blacker in my rearview mirror. And I'm like, I got out, we were stopped, I got out, I beat on his door. He said, you scared the crap out of me. I was like, you see that field? You see that field? If they don't let us go, we drive this fucking van right through that goddamn field and into the ocean because that fire is coming right now and we're not going to make it.
That's how all those people died, because they wouldn't let nobody go.
But why wouldn't they let them go? It's because they're down power lines. Yeah, that's the reason. So they couldn't go. They couldn't go around the power lines. The power lines can't.
Let us drive right through the goddamn. But they weren't lit. There was no electricity.
The power was out from the day before.
Right. So there's no power in the lines.
What was that morning?
Because we were trying to look at the length of the poles. They wouldn't cross the whole highway. There should have been the lanes.
There was enough room that you could have gone underneath.
Right. Oh, you got pictures of it.
I wanted to drive through there.
So what direction are we looking there?
They stopped the traffic.
So
right
is that
going
what?
North. That's Kapuna Kea right there.
That's Kapuna Kea.
And they would not let people move.
So how did you guys eventually get your car out of there?
We ended up fighting our way through the parking lot.
Creep through. A police officer came off the bypass here, and so the traffic lane that was supposed to go
coming down. We forced ourselves.
We forced our
two lanes
in.
and forced our way out of the parking lot.
I wouldn't get off his bumper. I did not care about the rules and the laws of who you're supposed to stop and let the next person go because we got separated before, and I'm not going to get separated.
Oh, you guys in separate cars?
Yeah, I was in one van, he was in the other van.
Were there any fire trucks anywhere?
No, I don't think I saw. All I saw was the people that were directing us because of the power line. There was police officers that were telling everybody, go. And there was somebody standing in the street saying, go.
Yeah.
One guy was driving this way, and when they were coming down this way, they were making them turn around at the Civic Center and go back. And so one guy was in the street on almost at the left-hand turn lane, but not quite. And the power line came down and was hooked on his truck. And he was out of his truck telling the people that were trying to come down to stop. It was just an individual person. And to let the people that were coming from the fire, go that way. But by then, there's like 1.5 lanes, two lanes to go that way because the lines had went down.
Good luck. Look at this. Holy shit. This is a nightmare. I don't know where he's going. Probably to block our street. They're gonna fucking barbecue all these people down in Lahaina. We're all trapped down in here. They're blocking off all exits. And everyone is just stuck. going in a circle in a fire pit.
Fires.
Before we dig into what appears to be a globalist first-strike genocidal crime scene in Maui, who are the vested interests in the multi-million-dollar Lahaina property? After the state of Hawaii, Alexander and Baldwin is the second largest landowner on Maui at over 65,000 acres, and the U.S. government is the third largest landowner at over 33,000 acres. Alexander and Baldwin's largest shareholder is BlackRock Incorporated. Meanwhile, billionaires within the World Economic Forum Bilderberg Network have been forcing the locals out.
So now a billionaire comes in with his money, doing it by force, removing people out of their land.
Mark Zuckerberg, to ensure his privacy, is trying to sue native Hawaiians that live in Kauai so he can steal their land and build a mansion, just because he can.
There are feelings of both angst and excitement as Lanai residents prepare to welcome new billionaire owner Larry Ellison.
Didn't take long before people who previously lived on Lanai were forced out of their jobs and forced out of their homes just because Ellison had a different vision for the future of the island.
We asked the governor to amend the emergency proclamation to ensure that Chapter 92 Sunshine Law remains in full force. The governor should ensure that all decisions about the rebuilding of Lahaina are made in the open and with full participation of our Lahaina community.
What have you heard of real estate investors already contacting survivors?
It was actually like day 4 that people started reporting that they were getting calls actually from Maui realtors. But there was a press conference just held, I believe, yesterday. I'm going to have to catch up on it, where they did said that there was many developers there that were saying they should void the permit process. And Hawaii has an extensive permit process. To build anything here is like, it's like pulling teeth. Governor Josh Green is saying he's going to put a moratorium on selling because he's trying to, I think, take the light off of him. But we know that something, it's more nefarious going on.
It's important that we're honest about this. People have been fighting against the release of water to fight fires.
He suspended the water code in Lahaina due to the fires. He's suspended certain other provisions of law in the housing proclamation. And in his comments on Monday, he specifically alleged something that I've never heard to be the case, that people are fighting against the provision of water for firefighting across Hawaii.
The deputy water commissioner had allowed millionaires and developers to divert that water to themselves. The same water that wasn't used for 5 hours to fight the fire in Lahaina. Reportedly, new permit applications that locals had been fighting for and won were due to be submitted the day before the Maui fires.
We all need water to live, but it requires true conversations about equity, like water equity.
The minions of Agenda 2030 immediately descended as locals report that those whose homes survived are being given eviction notices while developers in league with insurance companies circle the ancestral village of Lahaina.
That's a whole group of people that would have to get to do that. The landlord had to go to the court, file the petition, and then manage to get that done in under a week, and we can't get aid.
And what's more frightening is, FEMA. And what we fear with these land grabs is that they're going to go in and they're going to just declare the land uninhabitable. And when they do that, then it's going to give the state of Hawaii, the constitutional rights to take that land.
Now the ball is in the court of the globalists. You must prove to the people that this wasn't a premeditated genocide of the native people of Maui and a Pearl Harbor style attack on the United States of America. Because all signs point towards a full-blown land grab by BlackRock, the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, and the American government in order to jumpstart Agenda 2030 and usher in the technocratic smart city nightmare.
We found flights literally right before the fires was happening. And check this out. So you had this happen in 2020 where they were circling with this same type of aircraft. This is an FBI aircraft. And look here. They've changed it because they're under multiple different companies' front groups. So they changed their name, so they will change it. So don't expect the same one. But look here on screen, on a recent date, you find out that they specifically flew this pattern California or Oregon, literally where the fires are going down at.
And the community near Elk has entered day 3 of being evacuated. Natural Resources estimates the fire has burned over 9,200 acres, still threatening more than 150 homes in the area.
Road fire here. You can see the burned car right here, and just take a look at this. It's just completely gone inside. And take a walk with me here again. It's really hard to believe that this used to be the bedroom right behind me, and you can see the burnt mattress right there on the one side, and on the other side you can see the dryer and washer just completely gone. And the homeowner tells me that 20 years of the life that he built is now completely gone.
See the weather change, and the winds start getting sucked in, and it was just like a train coming, just that kind of a rumbly sound, and then the boom, boom.
This invisible laser weapon still packs quite a punch. In tests, the Navy has used it to detonate explosives from a distance, burn out the engines of approaching boats.
Washington. Look at the circle on the ground. Like a pinpoint laser beam has hit it, because obviously the fire is just way too selective in where it's went. Maybe that wouldn't, look at the circular rings and stuff. Again, we see a selection in areas where this thing was taking place. Look at that. So the transformer somehow didn't get touched at all. The truck got touched though, it was right next to it. A lot of houses back there didn't get touched, but then you see a lot in this area literally just devastating.
This is not a carbon fire. This is the only fire in the whole wide world that's considered a forest fire where the forest did not burn. The forest didn't burn here. All the glass melted. All the structural materials that used to be a house have disappeared. They have disappeared. You have a couple of bent poles here, a couple of poles that are bent, but you have absolutely no materials. The houses have not fallen. The houses have disappeared. The materials of these contents of these houses are gone. Let's listen to what they have to say here. She's going to talk a little bit about it. Well, first, let's go here. I want to show you where these fires are. Because if you're like me, you didn't know that there were 14 separate fires. How did 14 separate fires start over such a wide area? You guys, this isn't normal. This is not how it works. These homes didn't fall. These homes didn't burn. These homes disappeared. There's nothing left. There's not even a toilet bowl or a bathtub. This is one of the cars or trucks or something that was in this fire, and you'll notice that the glass here, which has a melting point of between 2,600 and 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? We're talking forge, foundry, furnace temperatures to melt this glass. Glass does not melt on its own, guys. Open air fires do not create this kind of complete combustion of the materials, all right?
Lasers in the sky, not to worry, it's the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers conducting coastal surveys. And they're being done using a contracted aircraft equipped with a light detection and ranging system. The lasers are used to measure distance. Residents near Oahu South facing shores between Barbers Point and Diamond Head might see those broad beams of green light across the night sky. It'll happen between midnight and 5 a.m. from Friday, April the 28th through the 30th. Officials say brief exposure to the light is not harmful to the unprotected eye.
This is going to be a multi-year recovery. It's going to take essentially years to rebuild Lahaina, which was destroyed. But we will build it back better, and we'll build it back proudly.
Build back better.
Building back better.
To build back better.
We're going to build it back better.
And build it back better.
My plan to build back better.
to a human future is in our own imaginations.
Bye now.
When we disagree, it'll be just like, so far, it's been just like when Barack and I did. It's in private. She'll say, I think we should do A, B, C, or D. And I'll say, I like A, don't like B and C. And just go, okay. And I told Barack, if I reach something where there's a fundamental disagreement we have based on a moral principle, I'll develop some disease and say I have to resign.